Season's greetings. I am Kara. You may more likely know me as Lucina. Welcome. I believe I know what you are all expecting. Entertainment. Am I correct? I'm pleased to know. Then, I shall give you what you want. That is, assuming that you all want a story. Do you? Then it shall be done. I have been preparing for this moment. I even have a hot chocolate with me. I quite like chocolate. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. This story, I hope you all enjoy it.
Snow sucks. I'm going to have to disagree. Sorry. Please do not fall for Snow's deceiving outer layer of thick, mushy, frozen water, Audrey. It is awful. Wait. Is Snow just frozen water? Yeah. Oh. Huh. The more you know. Morning, Evelyn. Terrible weather, isn't it? Tell me about it. I don't see why we gotta keep running in this weather. Who the heck wants to go outside when there's snow everywhere? People who don't want to spend their Christmas with only the people they spend the rest of the year with. Wouldn't you feel lonely if you only had Audrey to spend Christmas with? Honestly, I'd be pretty happy if Audrey was the only person in my life. Well, that's very kind of you, Evelyn. I am truly flattered. Always glad to spread some festive cheer, Alfred. Now then, if you'd kindly excuse me, Mr. Blue, I've got a passenger train to run. See you around, Alfie. You know, I've decided I don't actually like you calling me that. Ugh, never mind. Oh, I am really sorry about this, Audrey. Winter mornings always seem to get to my system. I'm just grateful you didn't stall on the points to the yard. That would have been really bad. You're not wrong there. Oh, my engine would fail on one of the few times I leave the harbour, wouldn't it? I'm pretty sure you leave the harbour quite often, Morris. Do I? Yes. Are you certain? Yes, Morris. Ah. Well, that's not meant to be like that. Audrey, there's an emergency down the line. Oh, no. Well, what's wrong, sir? There's been a landslide at the Loop Line junction. There's now a deep drift of snow blocking the line, and Alfred's on the other side of it. Take some men down there, straight away. Right, sir. Will do, sir. Sorry, Morris. Gotta dash. I'll chat later. Oh, righto. Good luck, Audrey. I suppose all I can do now is wait. Such is the life of a diesel shunter on a railway that is somehow mainly run by steam. I hate everything. I particularly hate being delayed. I particularly hate the lack of assistance. Where's Morris? Surely he could bring up a crane and, I don't know, do something with it. He's Morris. He could practically do anything if he really tried.
Goodness, this is a bad one, isn't it?
Indeed. Just glad I managed to stop in time. Wasn't easy with the gradient and all.
Yes, doesn't sound too pleasant. Oh well, we'll clear the drift as soon as we can.
I sincerely hope so. A bus already came to take my passengers, so it's just up to you to sort everything else out.
Why are we still waiting? Surely I should have left by now.
There's a snowdrift at the junction. No one can get in or out, so Audrey and the workmen need to clear the line before we can go.
Oh, come on! A bit of snow ain't gonna hold me back.
Don't go trying anything funny, Evelyn. We can't have you getting into trouble.
Bah! Rubbish! I never get into trouble.
Then keep it that way. Any further accident isn't going to help. What would the manager say?
Nothing besides the usual shtick all the managers say.
Audrey, I think this is starting to drag on a tad, don't you?
Yes, I know, Alfred. Shoveling snow is hard work, I'm sure.
Then we need something we can use as a battering ram. Something that can easily push the snow aside. As long as we clear up one line, we can keep the trains running.
You're right, but what could we use?
Any spare wagons lying around at Thillwick?
None that are heavy enough. But actually, I might have an idea. I'll be back in a few minutes. You'll hear me whistle when I'm ready.
Wait, but Audrey, what are you going to... Some engines just cannot settle. Shameful.
Come on! We have been here for half an hour! Can we just go inspect the drift for ourselves?
All right, but only if you promise not to do anything brash. I'll go ask the signalman to let us through.
Very nice. Just got a call from Fellinghill. Evelyn's coming up here. Light engine to see what's up.
I hope Audrey returns before she arrives. It won't be a very nice scene if they both... Oh, no.
You know, I thought wrong roading was like illegal or whatever, but this is great! I've got nothing to worry about, I can just zoom! Ooh, it's all rather fun, isn't it? I've never been able to go this fast before. Well, we're going to need to go faster if we want to get through the snow. Don't try put too much weight onto me, Morris. Ah, of course, right. Come on then, full speed.
Audrey! Stop! What on earth are you doing?
Don't worry, Alfred. This is completely safe.
But Evelyn is coming from the other way!
Oh, good Lord! Ah, Audrey, stop! Wait, what? Ah, my non-existent bones!
You idiots! What were you all thinking?
Well, I thought Morris would like to serve as our battering ram. And I thought I could stop in time. And I thought that... Well, I thought it would be like a roller coaster.
Well, it certainly was one. A roller coaster of accidents. Audrey, you should have told us what you were going to do. Evelyn, you should have stayed with your passengers. Now we're all going to be even more late.
Yeah, my bad, team. Sorry, everyone. I feel like I should be sorry, but I'm not sure what for.
Well, at least the drift is all cleared up now. That's all we can really ask for.
I could ask for a new pair of buffers. I could ask for a proper snowplow. I could ask for a nice, warm cup of hot cocoa. You can't even drink, Morris. Well, yes, but just having a cup next to me would make me feel better.
I suppose we can get all those things for Christmas. Saves me from needing to plan any presents.
Ah, that would be nice. Aye, that sounds marvellous. Yeah, sure, whatever, I don't care. Evelyn, be nice. Fine. I guess I care slightly then. Good enough. Like I said, snow sucks. Did you enjoy the story? In that case, we are finished. The story has been completed. There is nothing left for us here. You surely would not want another story so soon, would you? I see. Very well. Perhaps there is another story to tell, one that is closely tied to what we have just seen, one regarding the joy of friendship and giving. Would you like to hear it? Right. Allow us to visit another place, one that may be more recognizable. Enjoy.
The island of Sodor had been very busy. Christmas wasn't far away, which meant extra trains had to be arranged. Rosie and Jinty were used to this. The snow never made a difference to them at the big station, so they got along easily. Unfortunately, the big engines weren't nearly as agreeable. "Thomas is collecting the tree again!" cried Henry one night at the station. "That's the 34th year in a row! Why doesn't the Fast Controller send a big, proper engine like me to fetch it? He knows I like trees, after all." "Not content with taking the letters and parcels, eh, Henry?" laughed Jinty. "You should be happy to have any work at all." "And I suppose you're being as boring as ever, aren't you, Jinty?" snorted Henry. All you and Rosie ever do is scurry about Tidmouth all day. Well, we do more than that, said Jinty.
Yeah, added Rosie. I've been decorating my side of the shed. I've got this really funky bauble of the Fat Controller. It's a really good likeness of him, actually.
And I've been waiting for a special delivery, said Jinty calmly. What special delivery? Asked Henry. Can't tell you, smirked Jinty. It's gotta stay under wraps for the present.
Huh. It's almost like your constant use of present-themed jokes means something, said Rosie.
Nah, just running low on Christmas material, Jinty replied. There's bigger problems than my lack of puns anyway. Rosie, my dear, you better go arrange that goods train for Boko.
Aye, aye, Mr. Jinty the Jinty, sir, smiled Rosie as she puffed away to the harbour.
Jinty let out a sigh of relief. You know, you'd have thought that she would have caught on to my hints by now. I've been making puns about presents for weeks. So you've got her something special for Christmas, I assume, remarked Henry. Yeah, grinned Jinty. That's my special delivery. I'm waiting for James to bring the lot of post bound for Tidmouth, so I can fetch my gift for Rosie. How very thoughtful of you, mused Henry, finally smiling a little.
In the harbour yards, there was a siding with a pink van on it. His side read ULP, but that seemed like a silly name to the engines, so they named him Ulf instead. Ulf was once privately owned by a company in Alsborough, where he played tricks on the engines with his friends. However, he was sold to the Fat Controller after he was deemed too old by his owners. Now, Ulf sat around in the yards, waiting for his frames to be replaced. This had taken a toll on the van, so he tried to distract himself whenever he could. Morning, Rosie, smiled Ulf in the afternoon. How are you doing today? The yard seems to be in good order. Oh, I only wish I could see more of it. I'm doing just as well as ever, Ulf, Rosie smiled. Just gotta keep up with all the work, like I always do. Yes, of course, beamed Ulf. I remember when I was busy back in the day. Quite enjoyable it all was, running amok with the other wagons. Oh, I miss those runs, he added, reminiscing. I don't even know if me mates are still around. Do you know a truck named Fred Pelhay by chance? Or Rickety? Rosie wasn't a great listener, but she tried her best to sit still as Ulf talked about his old friends. At long last, he finished. So, he remarked, blissfully unaware, how's your Jinty friend getting along? Oh, stuttered Rosie. He's doing fine. I think he's arranging something, though. Something big and, special. I have zero clue what it is, but he seems to be keeping it quiet. Well, maybe you should find out what it is, Ulf replied. I've heard stories about trucks like that. Always keeping secrets, always ending up being very grumpy, very quiet, very mysterious. They'll avoid any questions, all because they're scared. Hang on, whoa. Jinty is not like that at all. Pardon, Rosie? Jinty's not mysterious, pal. He ain't hiding anything. He's a regular friendly guy, just like any other engine on this railway. Don't you go spreading nonsense, Ulf. Ulf was taken aback by the outburst. My apologies, he muttered. Luckily for Ulf, Jinty bustled in. Hey up, Rosie, he called. Would you like to look after the station for a bit? I need a bit of a change in scenery. I think the fresh sea air might help me a tad. Oh, sure thing, Jinty, beamed Rosie. I'll get right to it. Rosie happily set off, leaving Jinty with Ulf.
Ulf still looked very puzzled. "Something the matter, mate?" asked Jinty. Ulf looked at Jinty, trying to not seem worried.
No, of course not.
Ulf remarked.
Just as fine as ever.
I wish I was the same, sighed Jinty. "I've got a present for Rosie this Christmas, you see. It's been in my cab all day, but I'm worried it'll get damaged or lost. I can't hide it at the sheds, though. Rosie will question it straight away."
Ulf pondered and looked down at his buffers.
How big's the present?
He asked.
"Not too big," said Jinty. "The crate it's in is pretty small, actually."
Then why don't you hide it with me?
Smiled Ulf.
I certainly won't be going anywhere with my frames, and no one would ever think to look here for a present.
Jinty slowly began to grin. Aye, that'll work," he told the van. "Cheers, Ulf. You're quite clever."
I am?
asked Ulf.
Jinty, you've got me all giddy now.
The crate was safely placed in Ulf, and Jinty prepared to get to work. "Make sure you don't tell Rosie about it," he chuckled. "It needs to be a secret until Christmas Eve."
Ulf suddenly faltered. He had remembered what he and Rosie had said earlier.
Of course,"
he replied, forcing a smile.
Your present's safe with me, boss.
Jinty was too caught up in his own thoughts to notice Ulf's uncertainty. "This is perfect," he said to no one in particular. "Rosie's gonna have no idea what hit her."
He huffed away, still talking to himself, while Ulf wondered if he was doing the right thing after all. A few mornings later, it was Christmas Eve, and Ulf woke up to the sound of excited chattering.
It's been a long time since you've been into this harbour, Mr. Oliver,
smiled Toad, the brake van.
It's a very big place, but Mr. Douglas and I know it like the back of our buffers.
Grunted Oliver. "If only Mr. Douglas was here doing his work and not out there clearing the snow. I'm having to pull more goods trains than ever."
Goodness me, it is you two.
"Ulf?" asked Oliver. "Is this where you've been all this time?"
Oh, never mind that,
Ulf replied.
It is lovely to see you both again. Things on the Little Western are going well, I'm sure. All shipshape and, all shipshape and whatever it was.
"Yes, Mr. Ulf," grinned Toad.
"Everything has been marvellous."
"Bah, not for me," snorted Oliver. "I have to pick up Douglas's slack. Knowing my luck, Ulf, I suppose you'll be on my goods train, won't you?" Ulf was about to tell Oliver about his frames, but he suddenly had an idea.
Yes, Oliver," he began innocently. "Indeed I will. You're off to Wellsborough West, right? Just like old times."
"Aye, that's right," said Oliver. "But I expect no tricks from you this run, all right? Don't you think that I've forgotten about you and your little old gang?"
"Don't worry, Oliver,"
replied Ulf.
"There's nothing fishy going on." Get it? 'Cause we're at the harbour and, never mind.
Oliver rolled his eyes and puffed off to find the rest of his train. Ulf giggled to himself.
Once Jinty and Rosie hear about this, Jinty won't have any choice but to tell her about his little secret,
he murmured.
Clever me, clever me.
A few hours later, Jinty went to the harbour to speak with Ulf, when he suddenly realised.
"Oh, good grief! Where's that van gone?"
he cried.
"He said he wouldn't go anywhere. Oh, what am I going to do now?"
Who are you talking to, Jinty?"
asked Henry. Jinty didn't reply. All he could do was stare at the now empty siding. He searched up and down the harbour and was about to give up
when he heard a commotion from the signal box.
There's been a derailment on the Little Western, called the signalman. Take the breakdown gang up there straight away.
Oh, yes, sir, replied Jinty hastily. As he rushed to find the cranes, Rosie saw him. Oh, Jinty, is there something wrong, pal? Jinty hesitated for a moment.
No, there's nothing wrong. Nothing I can't handle, Rosie. Just look after the yacht. I'll be back soon.
Jinty raced along the Little Western with the breakdown train.
Oh, that van's gonna regret playing games, he muttered. The only gift he'll have this Christmas is a darn good word from me.
Just then, Jinty saw Toad, looking quite distraught.
Hello, Toad, greeted Jinty. What on earth happened here?
See for yourself, Mr. Jinty, sir, sighed Toad. Jinty glanced over and frowned. There, in a field, was Ulf, completely off his chassis.
Oh, hello, Jinty,
he called.
Funny seeing you here.
Oh, there's a bloomin' good reason as to why you're stuck in the yard, Ulf, snapped Jinty. It's to prevent yourself from literally collapsing. How did you even get down there? Surely it wasn't...
Jinty's attention turned to the head of the train.
Oliver, did you do this? Certainly not,
scoffed Oliver indignantly.
Honestly, why does everyone think it's my fault?
A few minutes later, Jinty's driver strode up to him.
Your present is all right, he told him. All safe and sound, no damage at all.
Jinty smiled.
I wasn't finished,
cut in the driver. Jinty winced.
While the crate hasn't been damaged, the wrapping inside is in pretty bad shape.
The driver continued.
We'll need to rewrap it.
Jinty was about to reply when his face suddenly lit up.
Nah, you don't need to rewrap anything, he chuckled. I know the perfect box to keep it in. Please, take the present back to my cab. When we get back home, I'll tell you just where to put it.
Later that night, the engines were chatting at the sheds. No one was talking more than Rosie, who had a very special visitor. You should have told me you were coming, sweetie, she told Marble, the blue tank engine. I would have spruced up the place a bit more. Your fat controller wanted it to be a secret, you doof, laughed Marble. I had to keep to it.
Yes, secrets are rather important,
murmured Henry, remembering his exchanges with Jinty.
Oh, speaking of secrets,
said Douglas.
Why aren't we doing Secret Santa this year, lads? Because James got Bear a simply terrible present last year, said Gordon. He got him a mirror, of all things. It looked nice, retorted James. I very rarely use it, commented Bear. Precisely my point, said Gordon. James just scoffed. My gifts are better than everyone else's anyway, he grunted. Did someone mention gifts? Rosie, my dearest companion... wait, hang on. Since when was Marble here?
Since an hour ago, replied Marble. And it's been one of the best hours of my life, said Rosie dreamily.
Well, it's gonna get even better, beamed Jinty. Come out for a second, ladies.
We already did that, Jinty.
Oh, no. I meant come outside for a second, Rosie.
Oh, sure.
The 3 engines had just arrived at the harbour, when Rosie suddenly burst out laughing.
Jinty! What have you done?
Only some of this was my doing, laughed Jinty. There, perched awkwardly on a platform, was Ulf. He still had no chassis, but now sported a few decorations on his side.
You know, I was against this idea at first,
He smiled.
but this isn't actually as bad as I thought it would be. It's rather nice, funnily enough.
What am I even looking at? Said Marble in confusion. You're looking at the gift of Rosie. Jinty grinned proudly. Rosie and Marble shared a look. Your home is a wacky place, Rosie. Yeah, tell me about it. I like Ulf, Jinty, darling, but I see him more as a friend than a present. Ah, it's what Ulf's carrying that's important, said Jinty excitedly. Driver, it is time to unleash the present. Jinty's driver got down and walked towards Ulf. He opened the doors and picked something up. Then he turned around, revealing a quaint, small music box.
Wait, that's it?
Asked Ulf.
It's that tiny wee thing?
It's not tiny. It's, dare I say, cute, replied Jinty. Have a listen to it. And so the engines and van all listened as the driver wound up the music box. Said Rosie. This might be one of the sweetest things you've ever given me, Jinty. For once, I feel almost relaxed. Then it must be the finest music box ever made, laughed Jinty. I'm very glad you like it. I'm sorry I kept it all hidden from you. I just wanted it to be a real good treat. Didn't want anything slipping through. It's all right, smiled Rosie. I'm glad you decided to keep this secret as well. Jinty flinched slightly, but returned to smiling after noticing how happy Rosie and Marble were. Ulf decided to say something too.
Jinty, he whispered. I'm very sorry about me running off today. I just don't really like secrets, you see. The other trucks kept things hidden away from me sometimes, and I didn't like it one bit. Seems as if your secret was worth keeping after all, though.
It's all right, buddy, comforted Jinty. In the end, you did help me a ton. If you didn't let me do this whole thing, I might have missed seeing Rosie being this happy. Just, don't forget. Some secrets are better left wrapped until the time is right.
Jinty, was that a pun I heard come out of your smoke box?
Yep, Rosie, my dear, I have been reusing the same present puns for 3 weeks. Jinty, Ulf, and Marble all laughed, and eventually Rosie joined in too. It was a truly wonderful Christmas Eve at Tidmouth, and Jinty and Rosie were very grateful indeed.
Now, we have reached the absolute. What did you all think? I understand. I am glad. Thank you. I shall now let you return to whatever you have planned. I am grateful for your company. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and what have you. Goodbye.